Hello student, today we are going to study NCERT class 10th History Chapter 1 The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. Before today's segment, what we have learned that how the nationalism started in the Europe, how the different countries used to come over there. They used to start the revolution, the reforms, or you can say the conflicts between each other. That they in their country they want the democratic government rather than the monarchical one because they're fed up with the monarchical system. So they want their own republic country. They want their own constitution. They want the equality. They want the equality, you can say they want the freedom of speech, like the natural laws which is given by the nature, they want to follow that. So they first started the, you can say the most of the people of the different parts of the Europe, they most fascinated with the France, by which they started the nationalism, the liberalism. So far, we have discussed that how the liberalism started. Then we discussed about the Vienna Treaty of 1815. Then we take about the treaty of the another country, in which the number of the people have they come up within a certain rules and the regulations that what country have to follow this and what country has do not follow this. In the last, we have discussed about the one of the weavers that the number of the people used to do the weaver work over there. Then they used to gather over at one place till the 2 p.m. That they have to sell the most of the cotton to the particular in the mansion. Then we have discussed about in the Europe how the hunger widespread because of the hunger, the particular price of the goods or particular price of the food, it used to increase very rapidly and the people are not able to buy it. So how this revolution has started, how the number of the people used to get over the one place, and by which the Louis Philippe has to flee from the France, and the people have set up themselves as the government, and they give the right to the people, especially the man. Then you can give the vote up to the above the age of the 21. You have given the right to that all the people should get the jobs. All the people are equal before the law. These are the certain changes which we have seen so far. That what other changes took place? How the earlier they were not using the perfect weighting machine. Then later on how they are using the perfect weighing machine or for the measurement with the exact value with the decimals. So far we can say that earlier the people are using the conservative ideas that they want to follow the traditional beliefs, or you can say the old regime rather than the modernization belief. After the Napoleon Bonaparte used to came, so how they he used to conquer the France. Then he used the number of the modern techniques by which in the Vienna Treaty 1815 they he used to involve with the number of the treaties over. Then the last we have done in the last segment we have discussed about, we have ended with the video with the discussion about the cotton, how the if the particular place the number of the weavers used to do the work of the cotton. They used to come together at a particular place at the mansion. So how kind of work they did and what going to happen over there. So far we have discussed till there that what the things is going to happen and how the nationalism took place in the Europe. Now in the today's segment what we have to cover is the 1848, the revolution of the liberals, then the making of Germany. Till now, we discussed about the different countries of the or different parts of the Europe. Now, then we are talking about the detail, the making of the Germany and the Italy. Germany, can the army be the architect of a nation, and the Italy unified. Till here, we are going to discuss in detail, and this one we can discuss in the brief. So, this is all the points which we are going to cover in this segment. Now, we will start with this on the page number 17, 1848, the revolution of the liberals, parallel to the revolts of the poor and the unemployed and the starving peasant, the people who are, you can say, the poor, the unemployed, the starving people, working in many European countries in the year 1848. Like the number of the people used to work in the different parts of the country. A revolution led by the educated middle class was under the way. Events of the February 1848 in the France had brought about the abdication of the monarch and the republic based on the universal male suffrage. Again, I am repeating, a revolution led by the educated middle class was under the way. So it was under the way. Even the February 1848 France had brought about the abdication of the monarch and the republic based on the universal male suffrage had been proclaimed. In the other parts of the Europe where independent nation states did not yet exist, such as Germany, Italy, Poland, and the Austro-Hungarian Empire, men and the women of the liberal middle class command the demand for the constitution, which I've said again and again. They are demanding their own elected representative, their constitution, their equality, the freedom of speech, and the address, which we can say they want to follow the natural laws. They took the advantages of growing popular unrest and pushed their demands for the creation for the nation state and the parliamentary principles, which just like the form of the democratic government which they used to follow, the nation state, the parliamentary principles, a constitution, the freedom of press and the freedom of association. They want the freedom of press. They do not want to control the press and the freedom of association. In the Germany region, a large amount of political association whose members were the middle class professional, businessmen, and the prosperous artisans came together in the city of the Frankfurt and decided to vote for all German Nation Assembly on 18 May 1848. 831 elected representatives marched in the festive procession to take the place in a frequent parliament convinced in the Church of St. Paul. They drafted a constitution for a German nation to be headed by a monarchy subject to a parliament. Now here what is that on the 8th May 1840 and 831 elected the representative marched into the festive procession to take the place in the Frankfurt Parliament, convinced the Church of St. Paul. They drafted a constitution for the German nation to be headed by the monarch, subject to a parliament. When the dispute offered the crown on this terms to the Frederick William IV, King of Persia, he rejected it and joined other monarchs to oppose the elected assemblies. While the opposition of the aristocracies and the military became stronger, the social basis of the parliament eroded. The parliament was dominated by the middle class who resist the demands of the worker and artisan and consequently lost their support. In the end of the troops were called in and the assembly was forced to disband. Now they used to call the army, then this assembly was forced to the disbandment. They have to stop each and everything which was going over there. The issue of extending the political rights to the woman was the controversial one. Yes, because I said that number of the times in the different parts of the country, or you can say in the different countries, where the number of the women over a period of time, they come with the revolution that they want their right, they want the equality to give the vote and to take participate in the elections, and they want their right in the employment sector, and they want the equal wages. That doesn't mean you give the equal that more the wages to the men rather than to the female. So then over the period of time in the different parts of the you can say the country or in the different countries, number of the women used to come to do the reform, to do the revolution, to make changes in the country. So in this case also they did that, that it issues extending the political rights of the woman was a controversial one within the liberal movement. In this liberal movement, the another revolution is going on, the which the women who used to ask for the political rights, in which the large amount of women had participated actively over the years. Which I said over the years they used to go over there. Women formed their own political association, now they make their own groups, founded the newspaper, which I've already discussed that, and taken the part in the political meeting and demonstrations, and despite this, they were denied. Despite this, they were denied suffrage right during the elections in the assembly. While the Frankfurt Parliament convinced the Church of the St. Paul, the women were admitted only as the observer to stand in the visitor gallery. Now think about it, just you give the right to stand in the gallery for this the visitor. So what is the work of the visitor? They just stand over there and they just see what the things are going on happen. They're not performing any kind of duty that what they want to do. So you can see this picture first. Figure 10, the Frankfurt Parliament in the Church to St. Paul. Contemporary color print. Notice the woman in the upper left gallery. You can see here, they just standing over here just to visitor to see what the things are going on happen. They didn't given the right to participate in the, you can say the election or the political rights where they want to do something for the nation. This type of the rights they didn't given because at that time also they have the, you can say the discrimination between the male and the female. Though the conservative force were able to suppress the rebel movements in the 1848, they could not restore the old order. Monarchs were beginning to realize that the cycle of revolution, oppression could only be ended by granting concession to the liberal nationalist revolution. Now they want to give the monarch were beginning to realize. Now they are realizing that the cycle of revolution and the repression could only be ended by granting the concession. Now they want to stop the revolutionaries that they can't do the revolution. So concession to the liberal national revolutionaries hands in the year after the 1848, that is, when the year is 1849, the autocratic monarchies of the Central Eastern Europe began to introduce the changes that they had already taken the place in the Western Europe before the 1815. The serfdom, bonded labors were abolished. Now they abolished the slavery system. Then both in the Habsburg dominions and in the Russia, because these are the two places where the number of the slavery works and number of the prison was going to be happen. So they stopped that. The Habsburg rules granted more autonomy to the Hungarian in AD 67. So these are the things which we can say that they did over there. Now come to the main important topic of this chapter is the making of Germany and Italy. We have already discussed in the first segment that earlier, now that this country was seen as the united, but earlier this country is divided into different kingdoms, whether in their own territory, the number of the king used to rule over there. So now in this case, we are going to read about how the Italy and Germany over a period of time they become the united by doing the number of the conflicts, reforms, and the revolution by the revolutionaries. After 1848, nationalism in Europe moved away from its association. Now, the nationalism in Europe is also moved away from the association with the democracy and the revolution, in which in the 1848, nationalism sentiment were often mobilized by the conservatives for promoting state power, achieving political dominance over the Europe. This can be observed in the process by which Germany and Italy came to be unified as a nation state. Now, this can be observed in the process by which the German Italy came with the unified as a nation state. As you have seen, nationalist feeling were widespread because as from the France and which we have already discussed, we can say all over the Europe that the people now start demanding the democratic country. So they start with the national unified the nation state. As you have seen, the nationalist feeling were widespread among the middle class Germans who in 1848 tried to unite the different regions of the German confederation into nation state. Now they what they want because it is divided into different parts. You can say it's divided into different states under the kingdom. So they said that the middle class German, what they said that now we have come to the United Nations state. So governed by the elected parliament. The liberal initiative to the nation building was, however, repressed by the combined force of the monarchy and the military, supported by the large land owners called the Junkers of the Persia. From then on, the Persia took on the leadership of the movement for the national unification. From this incident, now the Persia took the leadership of the movement of national unification. Now, in the Persia, it's also started the national unification. The chief minister Otto von Bismarck was the architect of the process carried out with the help of Persian army and the bureaucracy. There were over the 7 years with the Austria, Denmark, and France ended in the Persia victory and the completed the process of the unification in January 1871. The Persian king William I was proclaimed the German emperor in the ceremony held at the Versailles. Now, who became the king? The Persian king, that is the William I. On the bitter cold morning, 18 January 1871, an assembly comprised of the Prince of the German state, representative of the army, important Persian ministry include the Chief Minister of Ottoman, von Bismarck, gathered in the unheated Hall of the Mirrors in the place of the Versailles to proclaim the new German Empire held by Caesar William first of the Persia. You can see this figure first 11 over the extreme left side, that the proclaim of the German Empire, the Hall of the Mirror by the Versailles, Anton von Werner. At the center stand the Caesar and the Chief Minister Command of the Persian Army, General von Roon. Near them is the Bismarck. The monument work that is 2.7 meter into 2.7 meter, it means the number is the same, was complicated and presented by the artist Bismarck on the latter 70th birthday in 1885, where he used to celebrate his birthday. The nation-building processes in German had to demonstrate the domination of Persian state power. The new state placed a strong emphasis on modernizing the currency, banking, legal, and the judicial system in Germany. Persian measure and the practices of it become a model for the rest of the Germany. Now it's become the model for the rest of the Germany. How the Persian king become the emperor of the Germany. Now you can see this 1866 till 71, the unification of the Germany. So this is the map of the Germany, where you can see the Persia before 1866. Then you can see the conquest of the Persian Austro-Persian War of 1866. Then you can see green in color Austrian territory excluded the German, which is not under the German Confederation till the 1867. Then in green or light green color, you can see the join with the Persian to form. This is in the light green color to form. These are the places: Mecklenburg-Schwerin, then the Thuringian state. Then you can see the Haskell NASA is the NASA, American NASA. Join with the Persian to form the German Confederation in 1867. Then you can see the pink in color, the South German state joining the Persia to form the German Empire in 1871. These are the Bavaria, Badian, and the Württemberg. Then you can see the violet in color, born with the Persia from Frank-Persian War, that is in 1870. This one is the area. You can see violet in color, that is light violet in color, not the perfect. This one I'm saying light violet in color, which is didn't mention the name over there. This is the region which is light violet in color. So this is the unification of Germany. How the later over a period of time, the Persian people or the Persian human who become the emperor of Germany, that is the William First. Now we later come to the Italy unified. How it's united? Like the Germany, Italy was had a long history of the political fragmentation as the number of the dividation they have. Italian were scattered over the several dynasties, state as well as the multinational Habsburg Empire. Now they are also divided in the terms of, you can say, scattered several dynasty state. During the middle of the 19th century, Italy was divided into the seven states. During the 19th century, it was divided into seven states, of which only one, southern Piedmont, was ruled by the Italian prince house. The north was under the Austrian Habsburg. The center was ruled by the Pope, and the southern region were under the dominions. Now the central region were under the dominions of the Bourbon King of Spain. Even the Italian language had not acquired the one common form and still had many regional and the local. In the Italy also, the number of the people used to speak the different languages. They do not put one national language that compulsory you have to speak the Italian, because the number of the people used to speak the different languages. If we talk about the German, if we talk about the Italian, if we talk about the French and the other languages. During the 1830s, Giuseppe Mazzini has shouted to put together a coherent program for a unitary Italian republic. He had also formed a secret society called Young Italy for the dissemination of this goal. So the failure of the revolution uprising both in 1831 and the 1848 meant that the mantle now fell on Sardian Piedmont under the ruler King Victor Emmanuel II to unify the Italian state through the war. In the eye of the ruling elites of this region, a unified Italy offered them the possibility of the economic development and the political domains. Now you can see the figure 13, where you can see this what was The name is the Kaikach of Otto von Bismarck in the German Reichstate State Parliament from Figaro, Vienna, 5th March 1870. So this figure is made over that how he is used to use the hunter. Now come to us is the chief minister Stavro, who led the movement to unify the regions of the Italy, was neither a revolutionary nor a democrat. Now these are the people. Now this is the who is not a revolutionary, not a democrat. He is just an idle person, like many other wealthy and the educated members of the Italian elite. So he is the educated and he is wealthy. So he's an Italian elite. He spoke the French much better than he did the Italian. So he used to speak the French very well rather than the Italian. Though a tactful diplomatic alliance with the France emerged by the Cavour, Sardinia, Piedmont, and the success in defeating the Austrian force in AD 59. Apart from the regular troops, a large number of armed volunteers under the leadership of Giuseppe Garbiden joined the ferry in the 1860s. The march into the South Italy and the kingdom of two Silis and succeeded in winning the support of the local peasant because they took the support of the peasant in order to drive out the Spanish rulers because they don't want the rule they don't want the ruler of the Spanish in the Italy. So in 1861, Victor Emmaus II was proclaimed king of United Italy. Now they were proclaimed as a king of the United Italy. However, much of the Italian population, among whom rates of the illiteracy were very high, because the number of the people are illiterate, they remained blissful and unaware of the liberal nation ideology. The peasant masses who had supported the Garibaldi in the southern Italy had never heard of Italian and believed that La Taila was the Victor Emmanuel's wife. Now you can see before the starting of the next topic, that's in case of Britain, you can see before and after unification of the map of the Italy, how they united over the period of time, like how they make the chief minister, because he is not a revolutionary and he is not having the idea of Democrat. He is just an education wealthy person, so he used to come over there and how it took changes place over there. So this is the map. Italy state before the unification, 1858. That starts with the Savoy, Sardinia, then Lombardy, Venetia, Parma, Modena, Tuscany, Papal State, and the kingdom of both the Sicilies. Now you can see the purple color, the you can see the united or unification of the Italy. It is mentioned over there how it's united. It starts from 8058, then the 8060, then 8070. So till you can say that in the 8070, the unification of the Italy and the neighborhood countries are the Australia, Switzerland, and the Tunis. This is the neighborhood country of the Italy. In the till the 1870s. So this so far what we have discussed in this segment, the 1848, the revolution of the liberals, how the people have the liberal ideas and they want to see in their country what kind of liberation took place and how their country become the democratic. They want their own constitution. Then you see the making of the Germany and Italy. That in the, both the countries, the different you can say different ideologies, different revolutionaries, different democratics have the different idea. They come over the period of time. In this case, if we see in the Germany, the people of the Persia, the William I who become the emperor of the Germany, and the Italy over the period of time were fighting with the number of the wars. So you can say by the treaties or by the talking, then the people or the chief minister becoming the Italy till the 1870s. So over a period of time, we see that Germany can be the army of the architecture of the nation. Somehow, yes, we can say they are because the number of the army of the Persian they come, they used to do the fight, then they conquered their territory, then they showed they, what kind of territory they have and what kind of unification they want to see. So far we have seen in both the maps that here it's first the unification of the Germany. So 1866 or 78, we used to ask you in the your examination like which are the country where you find the unification of Germany and which are the place where you find the unification before the 1858, and after the 1858 you find the unification of the Germany, which are the places and which are the places you find the unification of the Italy. So who's the person used to united this place, and who used to have a person who, if you talk about the German, that is the William one. So far we have discussed that this, we have discussed this image they used to ask you in the 1 marks question in the MCQs. The what this image stated, he is having the hunter and he used to fear all the people that I am the dictator over here. So that these are the things which we have so far have seen. We have discussed this picture as well where he is celebrating his birthday. Like all the people used to come over here and he is celebrating his birthday. Here we can here what we have saw that the boomers have the number of the revolutionaries. They used to do the revolution for their rights. They want to participate in the uh, politics and they want to do some work for the nation. But the parliament allowed them to come in the parliament just as a visitor, not as the you can say the elected representative. You just have only work. Just come in the parliament, see what the things are going to happen. So far, we have discussed in this chapter all this point that the first is the 1848, the revolution of the liberals, the people having the liberal idea, they have the liberty, then making of the Germany and Italy. So far, the number of the things that is going to happen. Then we discuss about the Germany can be the army with the architecture of the nation, and lastly we discuss about the Italy unified. So far we discuss in this segment. In the next segment, we discuss more about in detail what are the other countries and what are the things going to happen in their country. I hope you like this video. Thank you.